Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the ESMT MBA class of 2019. Please be seated. Sedati wa sadati, mahila ebam pad raloka, gowe wan ying nimen, meine Dame oerer, devion aur sajanon, Tuan dan ibu saya, sinsa sugnyo yolebun, Tuan dan puan, pani y panovia, señoras y señores, dami y gospoda, señoras y señores, babe at nga ginu, anpe periorcale tae marcale, ein arabirin ati arakunrin. Ladies and gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren. Dear MBA students, soon to be graduates, dear partners, dear long-suffering friends and family, dear ESMT colleagues, dear guests, and dear friends watching from all over the world on a live streaming service. My name is Nick Barneville, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the MBA class of 2019 at the European School of Management and Technology. It's my role today to guide you through the next 2 hours or so, through our farewell address from our President, Professor Jörg Rocholl, through our commencement speech from our distinguished guest, Verena Pauster, through the official conferring of degrees, through the ESMT Student and Faculty Awards, and through the graduation speakers who have been elected to address you on behalf of their peers. This is the culmination of a year of tremendous effort on behalf of not only us, but mainly you, and I look forward to celebrating this with you today. You'll see, everybody, from the program in front of you, the order of proceedings. First, we're going to move to the farewell address on behalf of ESMT from ESMT's President, Jörg Rocholl. Then we'll hear from our commencement speaker, Verena Pauster. So then after that, we'll move to the formal conferring. So without further ado, I'd ask Jörg to join me here on the stage. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nick, for the kind introduction. I have to say I'm each time impressed by your language abilities. And at the same time, I'm equally impressed by the diversity of national backgrounds you represent, you as a class represent. So good afternoon, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, alumni, I should say still students, not yet graduates. Things may still go wrong, even though I don't expect this to happen. Staff, friends of ESMT, it's a great pleasure to welcome you to the graduation of the MBA class of 2019. The end of a one-year program, which you probably could best describe as a U-shape, starting with a lot of excitement, then being tortured by many requests from us, many things you have to fulfill, and then ending on a high note with so much excitement to finally have done the program and seeing the great benefits of such a program. So in that sense, even though it's not final and it's not formal yet, congratulations to all of you for having done this journey. Congratulations. Now, I would like to add, though, one part, and Nick already mentioned this. This U-shape pattern over the year not only affected you, but I think it also affected your family and friends, those who brought you to the place, to the stage at which you are today. So therefore, why don't we actually, at this point of time, thank those partners, friends, family members who actually supported you throughout your way, not only during this year, but who have supported you throughout your lifetime to actually make it here today. I would say they deserve a special thank you. Now, obviously, as you can see and as you can imagine, we at ESMT are extremely excited to see the news that came out 3 days ago. In fact, actually, it came out for us already a couple of days earlier, which ranked us in the Financial Times #1 in Germany. And I think what is more important to us, #9 in Europe. It is the first time, and I think this is most remarkable, it's the first time in history that a German institution makes it to the top 10 in Europe. It's also the first time in 7 years that a new institution makes it into the top 10. As our esteemed Dean of Degree Programs, Professor Zoltan Antal Mokosh always say, it's a slow clocking industry. It's a reputation that only builds up in a very long period of time. Actually, you can destroy it quite quickly. This is by the way, but it only develops over a long period of time. And to see that there is basically a very set circle of schools that have made up the top 10 for a very long period of time, and now to see a new school to come in is very remarkable. I will come back to this because it's not remarkable, and you may say that I will now come to this and say, well, we've done so many right things. It's all about you. I'd like to quote, though, and I like this very much. There was a quote by one of the leading publicists, authors, journalists these days on this ranking success. And he said something which I found very remarkable and which also our founders, many stakeholders found very remarkable. This journalist, his name is Gabor Steingart, and he says the following, this is a quote: "This place, ESMT, not only produces managers, but it produces courage. It shows that at this very special place, at this prominent place, Germany proves it can get things done. It can achieve certain things." And I think this notion of courage is one that I like a lot in the sense that this school was founded in 2002, and you may know, or you did know and you do know that when you walk up the stairs, you see this little saying, "Trotz alledem." I don't know how many of you have ever thought about what it means. Any guesses? Yeah, so it's one of the final sayings by Karl Liebknecht, who started the socialist revolution in 1918. And he basically said, despite of everything else happening, we'd like to continue. Now, obviously, this had a much more serious background than what we are doing. Nonetheless, this trotz alledem, despite everything, is something that is quite remarkable also for ESMT, because we are still in a country in which private education is not at the forefront of public favoritism and public perception. It's also that we see the processes through which we had to go to get, for example, the PhD granting right were pretty long-lasting and also pretty challenging processes that we had to go through. In the end, we did make it. We also see, you may have read this also throughout the course of this year, you will see sometimes again criticism regarding this model of private education. But I think based on your achievements, on the achievements of all our alumni whom we have all over the world, you are the best proof of concept, the best proof that this is the right decision. It was the right decision, it was the right courage our founders took in establishing this school here in 2002 with, and you may know this by now because it's my favorite saying, with this specific irony of history, maybe one of the nicest ironies of history, that where the socialism on German soil was headquartered once, here there's now a privately run, privately organized, privately funded, very international business school. So a business school that attracts students, graduates from all over the world. And just looking at your class, to have a class with 50 students from 25 different nationalities is just outstanding. It's, I think, the best example for what I said. I think, and I was, I received the remark from colleagues about this. The only region that is not represented in this class, can you guess which one it is? It's Antarctica. So apart from that, we have broad international diversity here, and this is great because it actually allows you, it allows us when we engage with you to see different cultural values coming together, different cultural backgrounds coming together, and a learning that goes probably far beyond the classroom in not just looking at, say, my case, finance or other strategy, accounting, many other important parts, but it also allows for a very international understanding. And maybe, in particular, when you look at the situation worldwide these days, this mutual trust, the mutual development of understanding might even be more important than it had ever been. So therefore, this ability to listen to each other, to understand each other across cultural, international barriers, I think must be a very important part of ESMT. It's part of our DNA, and this is something we would like to continue having. You actually helped in this respect, and I know much to the appreciation by many of our colleagues and many of our visitors. You hosted culturally themed barbecues and the first international MBA potluck on campus. So you are basically embody the level of international attitude. You embody the need to have the communication and the exchange across cultural international borders. Also, you could, which we are obviously very delighted to be part of, you could contribute to the Global Network for Advanced Management, so the Global Network Weeks. We as ESMT are one of about 30 institutions worldwide, the only one in Germany, which allows for this exchange across borders. Obviously, it also allows for many students from our partner universities and business schools in other countries to come to Berlin. And as I can see, they show a great level of excitement coming here and learning about what's happening here, the startup scene, the bustling theme of this city. And maybe in that sense, you could say this building, this city is the best example of disruption and maybe how to deal with disruption. So with this, you have achieved a lot. You've achieved a lot during this 1 year. We do highly appreciate your unwavering attention to scholarship. We obviously challenged you in many ways to look differently at markets, at entrepreneurship. We sometimes we're wondering whether everything we asked from you in terms of acumen and stamina is something you were even aware of you had, but obviously we have to challenge you. If we had not challenged you, you would have thought, why would I have gone to ESMT? But all this now comes to a great end here for the time being, but it doesn't come to an end of the overall relationship we have with you. And we would like you to understand that when we now come back to the rankings, this ranking success, obviously, schools would like to attribute to themselves, or we did so many right things. In the end, when you look at the rankings, most of what is captured there is in some way a feedback by students, by graduates. How much did they like the place they studied at? How have they developed in their professional careers? How do they look back when looking at their education at ESMT? So therefore, when I saw the excitement among alumni looking at this ranking, I always did reply right away, thank you for all the contribution you did. Thank you for making this place such a unique place, making it such an international place, such a highly rewarded, internationally accredited and appreciated place. Therefore, it's you. It's about your achievement. It's about your contribution that makes this school unique. And we obviously, certainly, very much hope that you will continue this contribution beyond your studies here at ESMT. The good news is that not only your class is a very international one, we have now, and we counted, we have alumni representatives in 48 countries. So either you find those alumni representatives in the countries you will go to, or if you should find a country in which no alumni representative of ESMT should be present at this point of time, let us know, and next year we'll have 49 or maybe even 50 of these countries. So therefore, try to bring in your knowledge, your experience when you think back of ESMT, stay in touch. As you know or may know, we have all kinds of events with our alumni chapters, with our alumni reunion each year, which is growing year by year and which is always, apart from the graduation, one of the highlights of the year, simply because it shows such a great spirit, such a great energy to come back to ESMT. Therefore, today is a day of transition from student to alumni status. You are the best ambassadors we can think of. We are delighted, we are excited, we are impressed by your achievements. We are sure, we are confident that you will be the best ambassadors we can think of in bringing ESMT forward and spreading the word of what we do. And I hope that you have impact not only in terms of what you do in your professional career, but as we say in our mission statement, that you also will have impact on societal change that is necessary in many dimensions. And I truly hope that you can contribute to this change in all the capacities, all the skills, all the expertise you have. Now, it's also that you are, in that sense, coming back to the rankings, you're the first generation who can say we did graduate from a top 10 European business school. Now, this is obviously what the others can also say, but you were, if not causal, at least it was interlinked to your time here at ESMT. In that sense, the doors to ESMT will always remain open to you, not only tonight, or as sometimes we tend to say, tomorrow morning. I just asked our CFO until which time the doors will be kept open tomorrow morning so that you can really celebrate your great success and enjoy finally after one hard year of work. The doors of ESMT will remain open surely beyond. And in that sense, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best for what you may call the real world, even though I would argue also business schools are part of the real world. We are not fictitious, we are real world. And we'd like to keep it like this. So therefore, as I always do when giving farewell to our students, to our alumni, the German word that best captures this best is Auf Wiedersehen. This means please come back anytime. You have had a fantastic achievement, and in this sense, congratulations. Now, as Nick has mentioned, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker, Verena Pauster. Verena is the managing director of Fox & Sheep, a company that creates learning apps for children. So in that sense, a very important initiative, a very important initiative that couldn't be valued highly enough. She's also the founder and managing director of Haber Digitalwerkstatt, a hub that enables children to discover the digital world playfully. So something being very important these days. She is, and I know this personally, is extremely passionate about teaching the next generation the basics needed for life in the future, which obviously encompasses the digital world. And in the best sense, she is a real thought leader in digital education. Beyond that, to facilitate equal opportunities for children from all backgrounds, Verena has founded Digitale Bildung für alle, so digital education for all. She serves on the advisory board of the Lufthansa Innovation Hub, a very important initiative by Lufthansa, Comdirect, an online retail bank, and the Innovation Council, amongst others. And just to give one of the several levels of appreciation Verena has received, she was named one of Europe's top 50 women in tech by Forbes.com. So in that sense, I couldn't think of a better graduation speaker. And I'd really like to I'd like to ask you in joining me in very warmly welcoming Verena to the stage. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Jörg. Dear MBA students, dear Jörg, dear guests of this graduation ceremony, I'm very honored and delighted to speak here today, and I will stick to the advice of my husband that a good speech should exhaust the subject, not the audience. And I've joined very many special events here at ESMT, but this is definitely a highlight. And to hold a graduation ceremony at the #1 business school in Germany is a particular honor. So thank you very much for inviting me. First of all, I want to join you in recognizing all the great people behind you graduates today. The family members who supported you every step of the way leading up to this very special day. Dear parents, husbands, wives, partners, you have a great part in the MBA students reaching the major milestone today, and I can only imagine how much time, thoughts, joy, and maybe tears went into their last years, and especially this one here in Berlin. Being a mom of 3 school and kindergarten kids myself, I can't possibly believe how proud you must feel today. And I welcome any advice on how you got through this challenge in one piece. But most of all, I want to congratulate you today, the 50 graduates of the 14th MBA class of ESMT. You should all be very proud of your achievements. And I can only imagine the mixed feelings of emotions today, the unbridled joy, and probably the unmistakable sense of relief. You all went through so much, and the highs, the lows, the triumphs, the challenges will all be very present today. Probably I'm talking about these all-nighters, caffeine-fueled all-nighters you had, and all the heart you put into the papers you handed in, and those moments of anxiety and doubts. My husband Philip took his MBA in IE in Madrid in 2007 and often talks about how intense, how challenging, but at the same time rewarding and unforgettable this phase in his life was. And how it prepared him in the best possible way for everything that was to come, except for being married to me. I learned that among the 50 of you are 25 different nationalities. You have an average age of 31. And 27% of you are women. This is the diversity future leadership needs, although my hope would be that we can double up on the women. And after this year at ESMT, you are now pumped up with knowledge, insights, a great network, and ambition, and ready to conquer the world. And the good news is, the world is waiting for you. The challenging news is, the world really needs you. The elections in Thuringia, Brexit, and the rise of extreme forces in all countries of the world show that democracies are under pressure, Europe is at risk, and we can no longer strive for our own individual goals and success without feeling responsible for the world around us. Me, myself, and I no longer works. And we in this room were very privileged. We got the best education and everything it takes to make a difference. Now is the time we need to stand up, not just as an individual, but as a collective, and take action. I'm an entrepreneur, and as entrepreneurs, we ask ourselves how we can change the world. In former times, entrepreneurs were often inventors that came up with new products, services, and aimed to build businesses they could hand over to their children. Today's entrepreneurs, due to the fact that they are often venture capital funded, have a 7-year payback horizon and don't build family businesses any longer. They build highly innovative companies that disrupt markets and challenge the status quo, but they have addressed far too little the topic of purpose in founding their companies. Successful entrepreneurship of tomorrow has to have the purpose woven into the business model. There are many great examples here in Germany, like Lemonade, Aidu, Einhorn, or Viva Con Aqua, to name a few, but far too little and far too few yet. So now it's on you. Some of you will join corporates, others will go into banks or become consultants, some might work in the public sector or join NGOs. But I sincerely hope that many of you dare to found your own company. That is what I would do if I was stepping out of this MBA in 2019. And by the way, Berlin is the best place to do so you don't have to leave. What our societies need in times of increasing uncertainty are people that are willing to take risks and can live with the fact that they might fail. Entrepreneurs that question the status quo and have the aspiration to find a purpose that is larger than the goal of creating jobs and coming up with new business models. That is where the power of future businesses lies. And to unfold that power, we need to get out of our bubble. Different religion, race, political stand, upbringing, gender, it doesn't matter. We can all learn from one another, and embracing the diversity of opinion and talking to each other with an open mind can change the world. And who, if not you diverse group of great people, know that better than all people out there. That puts you in the perfect spot right now. You are young enough to share the idealism and activism of the Fridays for Future generation. And you're experienced and well-educated enough to find solutions to the complexities and challenges ahead of us. The current elites have failed in tackling the large challenges of our times, be it climate change, education, or equal chances. And that's why I fully support the youth and their impatience we see every Friday in the streets. What we need now are new role models like you in business and politics that combine the three qualities I talked about. Stand up for your beliefs, have purpose woven into your everyday business life, and engage and communicate outside of your bubble. Today, more than ever, that's what the world needs. So after you have come this far, I hope it is no longer a question or not if you can make it in this world, but how and where you are going to make a difference. And so congratulations on the day today. All the best for your road ahead. Show the world what you have. And I'm very honored to hold your speech today and hope I sparked something what is already in you and which will now grow even larger. Thank you very much.
All right, so bit of a challenge for you. Are you ready? On behalf of us all, I'd like to thank both Jörg and Verena for their inspiring words. I think there's a lot of meat in the recommendations, and wish you the best of luck. So I'm going to now invite Jörg to return to the stage, and I would ask that Professor Zoltán Antal-Mokos, Professor Michal Grajek, and the MBA program team of Agnes Horvat, Tornike Chaparidze, and Alex Bernhardt join me on the stage for the official conferring of degrees. At this stage, we will call the class. Come up. It's fine. At this stage, we'll call the class of 2019 forward individually to receive their MBA degrees. The candidates will be welcomed by our MBA program team, Agnes Horvat and Alex Bernhardt, who will welcome the candidates one by one. The degrees will be presented to the candidates by Professor Michal Grajek. Michal is the academic director of our MBA program. Agnes will first call to the stage those who are going to graduate with honours. These will be called in order of academic achievement. These are those students who have excelled academically throughout the program and graduated with the highest grade point averages. After the official conferring of these graduates, we will call the remaining candidates one by one in alphabetical order. So, first of all, for those graduating with honours, I hand over to Agnes.
João Nuno Oliveira Gonçalves Soares. Congratulations on fulfilling the minimum job requirement. Your brains for days are making the rest of us look bad. Christopher Andrew Corman. One of our dear and very dedicated class representatives, when you have a goal, you allow nothing to stand in your way. Your dedication and ability to see things through to the end is inspiring. Sally Faustin, our lovely coffee fellow, whose lecture notes were far better than the presentation slides and the textbooks together in some of the courses. Christoph Stanour. During diversity training, Chris showed that when lives give you lemons, it's best to juggle them. Despite Bianca is losing her bet, congrats on your graduation. Andrew Eric Dukas. Andrew is an excellent communicator and supportive classmate. Also, his dog Evie was a number of people's therapy dog. Animesh Akshay Srivastav. Animesh invited several marketing professionals to campus during his active involvement in the marketing club. Also, his excellent contact-making skills made the International Field Seminar possible. Amber Lynn Lee. It is said that Amber is an avid fan of karaoke. I sure hope that we'll hear some of this later tonight. Abhishek Singh. Abhishek took more Coursera online courses than ESMT MBA courses. But we hope that it is not the only reason why he has already 2 job offers to choose from. Yunyoung Park. A very good communicator and one of our superwomen who proved that raising a child and successfully completing the full-time MBA program at the same time is still manageable. Aldio Alfonso. Although he was not the most active person in class, Aldio impressed everyone with his academic performance, and especially one of our dear graduates. Pui Pui Ho. Pui Pui is always working hard behind the scenes. Thanks for sharing your creative talents through your wonderful handmade thank you cards given to faculty. We were lucky to have you in the class. Matthew Joseph Bittner. Matt and Alex spent a lot of time talking about video and board games, but they never managed to play one together, yet. Alex says they will, so that's a promise and a threat.
Students graduating with honors, please rise. It's ESMT, technology. Did you hear that? Voice assistant, brilliant. I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Business Administration with honors, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, be seated.
Hello. And I will now continue with calling you to the stage. Vikas Mohan Agarwal, you've worked hard this year. Now you can finally start getting paid to work rather than having to pay to do it. Akinlolu Adedayo Ayo Vahan. Almost. You're the natural-born dancer that even Michael Jackson would be jealous. But apart from dancing, he is also an amazing cook, as he proved with his Nigerian dish during the MBA potluck. Alejandro Mario Karish. Alejandro, just as it said in the Lady Gaga song of the same name, I know that you may love ESMT, but after graduation we just can't be with each other anymore. But don't forget, you're always welcome as an alumni. Sungmo Chung. Now, Sungmo says about himself that he's not really communicative. Yet, when he realized that he forgot his passport in a hotel in Shanghai, while on the bus to the airport, he really moved heaven and hell to get it back. And surprisingly, it worked. Michael Oliver Clark. Michael is a super team player, especially in the MBA sports tournament in Paris, although he was so enthusiastic that landed him in the first aid tent. Sumit Daya. Sumit has a passion for helping the underprivileged, and he is a true believer in Noam Chomsky, and most importantly, he is one of our foosball medalists at the MBA tournament in Paris. Paolo Henrique Zanelato Damiani. Our fabulous entrepreneurship club president, thank you for working so hard to deliver these engaging entrepreneurial events. Paolo, your focus on learning by doing is admirable and something we all can learn about. Also gave me great fashion advice. Gordon Eric Day. The person who thinks that other business schools are just meh. Gordon, we're happy that you chose us. Mark Ivans Espiritu. Even though it's been a pretty busy year for you, Ivan still had the energy to get involved in several competitions, and that's really something to admire. Too bad, though, that Angela Merkel is leaving office, because that would have been his next job. Santiago Faya Peña. Santi was rather quiet in class, but he's a really sharp thinker. He impresses us every single day with the ability to go the extra mile. Sean Shushant Chandra Gaji. My favorite Vancouverite, just after Ryan Reynolds. Thank you for organizing such an amazing MBA potluck. We all gained a lot of undisclosed skills. Katrin Henze. On a cold morning at 6:40 a.m., Katrin took the responsibility of gathering 50 sleepy MBA students to campus, and that alone, ladies and gentlemen, proves that she is among the bravest of this class. Hitesh Jolly. Now, you know, there is a German saying that loosely translates to, you honor your name. And, well, you definitely do, you jolly fellow. Sunmin Kim. Thank you for bringing this brand new concept to the variety of this year's consulting projects. You know, the tassel really was worth the hassle, so congratulations. Jakob Knudsen. You know, back in summer of 2018, Jakob already came to ESMT to have a quick look to see if we clicked. And, well, I guess it's safe to say we did, and we're very happy that you're now part of the ESMT family. Michael Ahout. Now, Michael, you've been the official MBA yogi of this class. You've had a good head on your shoulders and you never forget to use it, so we're glad you got to be around. We got to be around, actually, to see you in action. Mario Lopez Güemes. A leader on the football pitch and on the karaoke stage. So thank you so much for filling our hearts with laughter. Everything will be a lot more fun when you're around. Diana Mojica Rojas. There's ordinary, and then there's you, Diana. You're even better than a unicorn because you're real. Mayra Veronica Peralta Macias. Mayra, what a great year of accomplishments for you. Not only did you achieve your MBA, but you can also add learn to ride a bicycle to your toolbox. So congratulations. Pranjal. Now, during the MBA tournament in Paris, Pranjal single-handedly beat 7 out of 10 people in chess. And that's an achievely that will find no equal that quickly. Joshua Kyle Pritchett. Someone said about you, you're more fun than bubble wrap and like sunshine on a rainy day. And you know what? I have to concur. You're such an amazingly positive person, it's infectious. Shan Chao. What a busy year it has been for you, Shan. The MBA, a house, and a newborn son. That's really a great achievement. You can be really proud of yourself. Max Reinhardt. My personal trainer during our trip to China. So Max, thank you very much for not letting me hurt myself on these machines. Rory Luis Araujo Ribeiro Jr. The orchestrator behind a truly memorable Brazilian barbecue, and to be honest, the details are still a bit fuzzy, which has nothing to do with the caipirinhas, but I do remember that everyone has had a great day, so congratulations. Ajaya Kumar Root. You have a lot of knowledge to offer others, Ajaya, and we're glad we got to see at least a little glimpse of it, especially during these corporate finance lessons. Sunny Siddhartha. May your great MBA memories last longer than your student loans, Sunny. Because you're better than a triple scoop ice cream cone with sprinkles. Bianca Simoish. One of our official class reps and unofficial Instagram story creator, an engaged member of the Inclusive Leadership Steering Group who makes us hopeful about the progress and development that she and other leaders like her will bring to any organization. Nicholas Robert Skiba. Nick is the ultimate Game of Thrones fan who organized the viewing party for the very last episode. And Nick, I really have to say that we hope that your memories of ESMT are way better than the memories of that dreadful finale. Sonny Susyavan. Sonny showed us how easy the life of an MBA student can be. All you need is a good cigar, a drink, and sunshine. And also cookies. Ali Munir Javad Sultan. Now, if you're wondering who's responsible for the awesome citations, turns out that they actually came from the most genuine, lovable, and generous people's person and Sisyphus VIP. Uma Shankar Triplicane Dwarakanathan. I practiced that, I promise. Well, I have to say, Uma combines the soul of a comedian and the spirit of a cook. And the results were lots of laughs and awesome food, and what more can you want? So please stay the positive person that you are. Jan Voronov. Coffee and lunch breaks without your guitar skills and songs out on the lawn. It won't just be the same without that, man. So thank you for sharing your talent and keep us entertained in the future as well. Junju Wang. Well, you are very diligent and persistent, and you surprised with super sharp questions when everybody thought the conversation would be over. Farah Weber. Always looking out for others and a reason to celebrate. Props to the monthly birthday celebration organizer and our official ESMT mascot in Paris during the MBA tournament. Łukasz Winiarski. Your presence commands attention and respect, no matter how small or large the crowd is. We're glad to have had the chance to learn from a true influencer on Instagram. Xinyu Wang. You co-organized an unforgettable international field seminar to China this summer, so thank you very much for this. Without you, it definitely wouldn't have been the same. The full, rich, authentic experience definitely would have liked. Again, thank you. Nadia School. It's been great learning from your scientific approach to all the issues, Nadia. We're grateful to have had the opportunity to gain from your rich experience and learn that there is such a thing as a degree in ice cream making. Yan Zhao. Jan is super involved and connected. She has a great passion, and we were very lucky to have her in this class of 2019. Thank you very much.
Graduating students, please rise. I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Business Administration with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, be seated. You've made it.
So, it's me again. I would now ask my colleagues to remain on stage, well, most of them anyway, as we proceed to the awards ceremony. So here we get to honor special achievements throughout the year, both for our MBA graduates and our faculty. So first of all, I'd like to invite Zoltan to present the academic award.
I have the great pleasure to present the first of 5 awards to distinguished members of the ESMT community who showed outstanding commitment and remarkable qualities over the year. The academic award acknowledges the achievements of the full-time MBA participant who has graduated from the program with the highest grade point average, also known as the GPA. In preparation for this lovely day, we have examined all the students' GPAs and concluded a winner whose outstanding dedication to academic excellence was worthy of note. It is a person who often ended up among the top 5 of the class in many different courses and just kept impressing professors throughout the year. Therefore, for his proven commitment to learning excellence, it's now my utmost pleasure to honor with the Academic Award João Soares. I would like to turn the mic over to my colleague, President Professor Jörg Rohol, for the President's Award.
Thank you, Zoltan. At ESMT, we aim to develop entrepreneurial leaders who think globally, act responsibly, and respect the individual. And learning for leading is one of the crucial tasks of an MBA participant. We established the President's Award to emphasize the role leaders face in running effective and responsible organizations and promoting efforts in leading the whole community. This award is presented to a graduating participant of the full-time MBA class who has proven to possess the highest leadership potential and the highest capabilities to fulfill our mission. Nominations and votes have been sought from faculty, peers, and ESMT staff, and we had 3 nominees: Amber Lee, Bianca Simoes, and João Soares. We had to select one for the award, and therefore we conducted a careful examination of the final votes. And it gives me tremendous, utmost pleasure to present this award to an excellent member of our community. We convey our sincere and utmost wishes to João Soares. I will continue with the President's Honor Roll for Teaching Excellence Award. So this honor roll is meant to award a special recognition to those colleagues who did extremely well in the classroom, who as instructors, designers, and facilitators of the learning experience have significantly contributed to the advancement of our graduates. As teachers, these professors are serving on the program to create better leaders tomorrow. I will now read the names of those professors reaching the President's Honor Roll of Teaching Excellence, which identifies those professors who received the most outstanding participant feedback, or in student terms, at least a grade of 1.5 or A, respectively. These professors, this is very important to say, do not receive anything other than this public announcement, thus the recognition. But public awareness is already a high honor in itself. It is thus my pleasure to read to you the names of the faculty members recognized by the graduating MBA class of 2019, and there are actually quite a few. And obviously, I think they would be delighted, each of them would be delighted to find an applause one by one. So, the first, Linus Dalander for his course on Organizing for Innovation. Matthew Bothner for his class Status in Organizations. Francis de Vericourt for his class Managerial Analysis and Decision Making. Per Olsson for both of his courses on valuation and on financial accounting. Guillermo Baquero for his course on international finance. Martin Schweinsberg for his course on negotiations. Tamer Boyachi for his course on Operations Management. Gianluca Kanabucci for his course on Global Virtual Teams. Catalina Stefanescu-Kunze for her course on Quantitative Methods. And last but not least, Özlem Bedredefoli with Rainer Nietzsche on their course Matchmakers in the Digital Economy. Congratulations to all of them, all of you, and with this, over to Michael.
Faculty Award. Dear graduates, as I hope you have noticed over the course of this year, my colleagues and I put considerable effort in preparing and teaching our classes. You, our then students, always amply rewarded this effort with your enthusiasm, with your eagerness to learn, and your active participation in class. In fact, I feel that quite often we ended up learning more from you than you from us. ESMT faculty members give the Faculty Award to the MBA participant whom we consider to be an outstanding student and the best contributor to the learning experience. These qualities, the qualities of the recipient of this award, are not limited to the academic performance, but also include behavior and attitude, especially during the MBA program, especially through contributing to the learning process. ESMT faculty members submitted many nominations, the top of which are Gordon Day, Sally Faustin, Christopher Corman, Anne Young Park, Rory Ribeiro, Abhishek Singh, and Soni Susyavan. The competition this year was really close, as in sports where sometimes fraction of the second make a difference. But there need to be one winner, right? And the winner of the Faculty Award is Gordon Day. And now, Ali Sultan will present the Best Faculty Award.
Thank you. The Best Fellow Award goes to the MBA candidate whom we, as fellow students, consider to have made the best contribution to our learning experience as a whole. Who was the best teammate? Who helped out the most? And who was the best to get along with? This award is meant to recognize not only intellectual performance, but also behavior and attitude. The award is based exclusively on nominations and votes from the class. Please give a warm round of applause to each one of these nominees. Andrew Dukas. Katrin Henze. Amber Lee. Abhishek Singh. Nicholas Skeba. And of course, João Soares. And now it is with great pleasure and my honor that I can present the Best Fellow Award to Abhishek Singh. I would now like to invite Łukasz Wenerski to present the Mario Reza Best Teacher Award.
I have the privilege today to bestow the Mario Reza Best Teacher Award, which recognizes the ESMT professor who goes above and beyond their duties in the classroom. Nominees for this award have demonstrated a firm commitment to our educational experience and personal development as future managers. This award is named in memory of Professor Mario Reza, who embodied all these qualities and is much missed. 4 professors were nominated for this year's award. They are Professor Guillermo Baquero, not only for his enthusiasm and passion, but also for his ability to motivate students to learn. Professor Francis de Vericourt. For his energy and excellent communication skills, combined with deep understanding of human psychology. Professor Martin Schweisberg. For his interesting, insightful, and hands-on learning approach to negotiations. And finally, last but not least, Professor Per Olsson. For his ability to create a great learning environment, encouraging questions and related discussions. Students, we voted for the winner based on these nominees, and the winner is the professor whose business cases took us on many adventures, from 19th century Europe to the wilderness on the US-Canada border, Professor Francis de Vericourt. Whoa.
Okay, guys, I'm not supposed to speak to you right now. I feel Michal is getting excited because I'm taking your time, but I wanted to thank you. I want also to thank the VV Consulting team who were very nice to me to help me coach them, and I was super busy, but they were super nice. Thank you, Amber and Matt. And I told you it was easy peasy lemon squeezy, no? Okay, thank you.
All right, just very few closing remarks. Well, you've heard great speeches. Music first.
All right. So I think that band, our friends here, they've actually been at every graduation I've been at. So that's 10 years. So they're actually part of the furniture. But every year things happen a little differently. The music comes in the wrong place, the speeches get switched around. So it's all part of the show. We're slowly coming to conclude our proceedings here today. We have one very, very important part yet to do. And that is to hear from your elected student, now graduate speaker. So there's no pressure at all, Josh. I'm going to invite Joshua Pritchett, MBA, onto the stage to speak on behalf of Europe.
How about that band? A little help from my friends is very fitting for today. I would like to recognize that people have traveled far and wide to be here on this joyous occasion and to help celebrate the achievements of the ESMT Berlin class of 2019. For this reason, I find it fitting to welcome you all with a special greeting spoken from my native tongue. Hey y'all! For our visitors today, you have heard, but we are a diverse group of students. We're made up of 50 professionals from around the world, representing 25 different nationalities. My math says 24, not 27 females, and 76% men, but that means we have a combined experience of over 371 work experience from industries such as engineering, healthcare, consulting, and IT. Our past is what makes us different, but let me share what makes us alike. We all chose now as a time to further our career. We all chose now as a time to uproot our lives and move to Berlin. We all chose now as a time to partner with the #1 business school in Germany. This school was strategically founded to bring the brightest minds in business to the thriving German economy. I can only speak for myself, but sometimes I wonder if ESMT got it right. Did admissions confuse my application with someone else's? Is this group of people the future leaders they were looking for? We might sing karaoke well, but are we gonna run startups, secure patents, and be CEOs? But as I stand here today, representing my former peers, now friends, I am confident that we are the individuals who will change this world. My classmates and I will always be united, as we share a special bond, a bond that no one else can replicate. When looking at the journey we shared together, I like to think of it as a microcosm representing an entire lifetime. To illustrate this, I will segment the journey into 6 unique stages. Some might call them modules. I apologize in advance for the reference to course material and inside jokes, but if my classmates laugh, you should too. We started this journey on a cold January morning. Most of us were strangers and unaware of what's to come. We were brand new to this life and both excited and nervous at the same time. We began to learn about the trees of life, both decision trees and the trees that we got lost in for over 8 hours during our first team building exercise. We learned that life is not always normally distributed, but who cares? There's models for that. We learned that we all have biases, but not to be lured into these traps. During this stage of life, we learn lessons to become the true general managers of our future lives. Module 2, adolescence. As time went by, we began getting more comfortable with our new life and began to secure new friends. We started to understand the world around us, let's say the global economy, and that the word hyper isn't as fun as it might sound. When in doubt, we learned to T account and that life should always balance. We began to learn the importance of money and that this cash should flow and flow and flow. But at the end of the day, this net present value is that we are learning to become true functional experts. Module 3, young adult. We are now in full stride. We are confident in our skills, a bit exhausted, yes, but eager for further development. We began to think strategically about how we can create value in this world and developed our own model canvases of life. We asked ourselves, what is the optimal capital structure of life? Is there an efficient frontier in this world? Am I correctly planning for the long term? For many of us, we traveled to a new world to see how life was conducted in Shanghai and Beijing. And for the first time, we felt like we were able to combine our skills for some integrated thinking. Module 4, Adulthood. As fully confident managers of life, we now felt like it was time to run our own businesses. In this new utopian world, time flew by. Each day seemed like a quarter or even a year. But we learned simulating life isn't all fun and games. We took time to specialize. Some of us were curious of how to sustain this world, while others wanted to innovate. We finally learned why blockchain and design thinking were such buzzwords, and how to both introduce technology and also how to value it. At this stage, we had elected our path in life, and we were ready to tackle our biggest challenge yet. Module 5, Matured Professionals. This was it, our final project, which I will say is misleading because we had one more project, but that's okay. We were now CEOs, CFOs, project managers, client liaisons. Some of us helped bring techno music to parts of Asia, while others helped strategize around healthcare apps. No matter the initiative, we were in charge. If there were challenges within the teams, we had to resolve them. If our client was asking for too much, we had to deliver. This chapter was long, tedious, and exhausting. But let me say it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life, and I'm confident that many of my peers feel the same. We had accomplished and proven our life stages. Module 6, Retirement. We were tired, we were done. Many of us were checked out and focused on the afterlife, aka getting a job in 2020. We wanted to relax and spend time with our friends and sit around about the memes taking over the kicker table all day. With that said, we had one more challenge in life, and we needed money. Some of us wanted to become an art concierge, while others wanted organic food delivered to our doorstep. Some wanted to stay warm inside and drink Foss beer, while others wanted to help people party without leaving a trace. We all pitched our innovative ideas to a stranger. We all rose to the occasion, and we all did a damn good job. So as we navigated this life together, it will forever unite us. Because despite what Francis already just said, this was not easy peasy lemon squeezy. This was hard, and I am proud of where we're standing today. Speaking of Francis, let me take a few moments to thank the wonderful faculty here at ESMT Berlin. Whether it was the poise of Catalina or the excitement of Pear when discussing Denny's or chocolate, or the stories that Zoltan seemed to have for each and every scenario, we thank you all for your world-class expertise. From the beginning, they told us not to worry about grades, which was easy for me. I cannot say the same for the front row. They told us to learn the language, and I can still barely say Entschuldigung. They told us to read the Friday emails, and I do not know what the hell's going on. And they told us to come in class on time. Farah, did we listen? All kidding aside, just like us, the faculty comes from countries all around the world, but they are sharing their craft and molding the minds of future generations. Our tuition might pay the bills for this wonderful institution, but their desire to teach is what keeps the engines running, and we thank you. This school is made up of so much more than teachers and students. Alex and Agnes, aka the A-Team, made us feel right at home from day one. Who knew that 50 young professionals needed a full-time staff of babysitters? Sophie and Marcel helped motivate us to find our next challenges in life, although they would get sad when you would talk to them about opportunities outside of Germany. Marion and the rest of the staff at the cafe and restaurant greeted us each and every day with a smile, and for me, at least 3 vanilla lattes. I hope all of our supporting staff here at ESMT Berlin understand the impact that they had on our lives. And on behalf of the class of 2019, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. There's one more thank you I'd like to give that doesn't get the recognition it deserves, and that's to the Harvard Business Review. Without your numerous case studies to help guide us through the challenges and outcomes of American male protagonists, we would be far less knowledgeable than we are today. And yes, this is a challenge for the school to diversify its cases used in our curriculum, but I also want to recognize that there are certain professors who are already leading this change. You know who you are, and we thank you. Now let me talk about my wonderful and beautiful classmates. We had some natural leaders. For example, Ali emerged as our CPP, which stands for Chief Party Planner. Although I don't know why all parties led to Sisyphus. We had an influencer amongst our group. Michael Clark single-handedly made the pronunciation of Kiesh a thing. I don't know how, but it was trending. We had some vocal classmates. I remember the day when Santiago was outraged when Oslam declared avocados as an elastic good on the demand curve. No me gusta. No me gusta. We had a few dance experts. Do you all remember during the first week of school when Mario taught us how to do the river? Mario, get up and do the river. Show us. Show us. And lastly, we had a few fitness gurus. Remember when the sun came out and the guns came out and Lucas was shocked at the size of Michael Hood's arm that he gave him the nickname Buff Mike? That was a classic. If I had time, I would keep going, but I'd rather highlight a few moments in the program where my classmates truly moved me. The moment when Sean clapped back at a professor who assumed that she was not German. When our very own in-young Miss Mama Korea touched our hearts by standing up against racial and gender discrimination of an outside company, which was an emotional battle where she truly made change. The action of my classmates have taught me to focus on things that are important in order to leave this world better than we found it. You see, more than anything else, I hope over the past year we learned to love ourselves. This was our time to be selfish. This was our time to leave our wives, husbands, friends, parents, cats, to say, hey, this is about me bettering myself. This is about me moving to one of the strangest cities in the world, yes, to learn about business, but also learn why people stand in line 3 hours at a club to potentially get turned away, and to learn about that myth known as German efficiency. Although we learn frameworks, financial models, ways to assess risk, manage diverse teams, there's a few other things that we have learned that have resonated with me. Did you know that firms where women make up at least 15% of the leadership have more than 50% higher profitability? Did you know that inclusive teams make better decisions up to 87% of the time? Did you know that more men named John run big companies than all women combined? And to bring it close to home, did you know that the average gender pay gap is over 22% in Germany and over 25% in Berlin? Study after study has shown that gender and ethnic diversity is associated with increased sales, increased revenue, more customers, greater market share, and greater profit. So what is the problem here? As I stated earlier, this group of misfits, now my friends, are the individuals who have the power to change the world. We are the generation to fully digitalize this world. We are the generation to fully globalize this world. We are the generation to end all inequalities that exist in and out of the workplace. We're the eldest of the millennials, meaning that we're not quite addicted to technology, social media, or status-driven ideals. 30 years ago last month, a wall spanning 155 kilometers symbolizing divide, segregation, and the unknown fell in the city. The resilience and ability to persevere is evident in all corners of Berlin, and I am proud to have furthered my education in a place that has deep roots connected to the desire for change. But let me ask you this, are we going to let another 30 years go by before we break down the walls that still stand between gender equality, racial equality, sexual orientation equality, and the other inequalities in this world? So, as 50 bright minds graduate here today, my call to action is, let's go do it! Love y'all!
Okay, just thank you for the excellent speech. It's time, finally, to get, to my closing remarks, which I couldn't wait to get to. But as the graduation speaker, rightly pointed out today, the point is to exhaust the topic and not the audience. I think we have exhausted the topic of graduation by now. And because I don't want to exhaust you as an audience, let me just say one thing. You've been a wonderful class, and thank you for that. Now, before the orchestra plays the last piece of music and before you take your family and friends to the foyer for a reception, there is one final point on the program, and this is to throw your mortarboards into the air. So please come closer to the stage and take the best picture of the ceremony.
Thank you.